Welcome friends at Sinha classes for placement preparations. Last time I got some feedback. I'll try to incorporate those feedbacks during this session. One feedback which I got through some of my listeners, some of my audience, that I should explain mostly in English. I'll try, but I'll have to cater the audience across India. So I'll try to use some Hindi terms also in between. Okay, in any case. So during the last session, I just stopped session at this point. So I'll have to just start from this point only, this question only, so that there should be connectivity, there should be continuity. So I told you, when we are going to solve this problem in switch case, and when there is two cases you are trying to add with or and something like that, is going to just generate error, because case should be a constant term. It cannot, you're not going to add through or and or something like that, so it's not possible. So let me run once again, and so that you may continue from my last session, and for sure it's going to create an error, right? Now the point is, what if you're getting question like this? You see this question, this one, this one. Write a C program to print red if small r or capital R is given as an input, and blue if capital B or small b is given as input, right? So in those two cases you can do, means I am going to edit this only, like let me write character check, or let me change it, color equals, let me write B, fine. And here what I am doing, small b, this is one case, and the next case is capital B. In both the cases, what it should do, it should printf, and let me use curly braces, printf blue and break, right? In the same way, let me copy from here, going to type too much, right? So in the same way, let me write it R and then capital R as per the question, right? Capital R, and then in this case it should print red, right? Red, and then break. Now when we are going to run it, you see I have given, color name means fixed. I'm not taking any input. You can just try with the input, because it is going to take time, so you can try it. Right now I'm trying to run it, and you see the output. Oh, here we should give B in small quotes, right? This is the error. Okay, so run it and you get blue, right? So what is happening here, you see the question is asking, write a program in C to print red if small, if a small r or capital R, or blue if a small b or capital B is given. In that case, what I did, I have created two cases, small b, capital B. For these two cases the statement is common, right? So you're not supposed to add two cases in either or and, rather you can create multiple cases. And for those all multiple cases you can create a common statement. So this you should take care, right? Likewise, there is another question here. You see, write a program in C to print upper here, write a program in C to print the uppermost character as, if you are going to give capital A, B, C, D, it should print capital D. If you are going to print a small a, B, C, D, then it should print a small d. And if you are going to print 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to print 4, right? So now you can understand what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to create 4 cases like capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D, and for that one statement to print capital D, right? Likewise, for the second one, small a, small b, small c, small d, for that one small statement, that is small d. And for the third, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, but I think now you got what how you are going to do it, right? Now, after solving this question, just come to this. Now, just come to this question. This is MCQ, right? This one. This question. This question, right? Question is asking which of the following cannot be checked in switch case statement. Number 1, character. Number 2, integer. Number 3, float. And number 4, enum. I think the answer is very simple. We discussed a lot about this character case, right? We discussed of integer case also. Enum we have not discussed yet, but I hope that this channel is all about the placement preparation, so you are knowing about the enum and all in that case, but we have not discussed anything about float, right? So to the answer to this question is which of the following cannot be checked in a switch case statement. So the answer is C, that is float, right? Okay, so I think I am clear. Okay, let me take one more question, right? This question, let me take this question, fine. So this question we are just discussing now, this question. So this question is also very interesting one, but the answer is not one, right? Which statements see the question, it's not asking a statement, it's asking statements, see here. So more than one statement. So which statements are correct about an if-else statement in a C program? Number 1, nested if-else statements are allowed. For sure it is allowed, right? Every if-else statement can be replaced by equivalent statement using ternary operator. This I discussed you in my last system, ternary operator. I got a feedback from some of my, you see, some of my somebody comment, some has given me comment that he needs more explanation on this ternary operator. For sure I'll give, no problem. So second, every if-else statement can be replaced by an equivalent statement using ternary operator. Third, multiple statement in else block are allowed. Yes, multiple statement in else block is allowed. There is no problem at all, right? Multiple statement in if block is allowed. Yeah, it's allowed. Multiple statement means what? Multiple statement means here there is curly braces, here there is curly braces, in between you are trying to write multiple statement. Yeah, so it's possible. If here there is else, you can write multiple statement. Even if there is if, you can write multiple statement. There is no problem at all. So I guess this statement is correct. This one is correct. This one is correct. This one is also correct. So the answer to this question is A, C and D is correct except B, right? So which statement are correct about an if-else statement in this program? So your statement A is correct, C is correct, D is correct, but this is not correct. Yes? Okay. So, okay. I think this question I discussed last time, but let me discuss once again about this, and yeah, this will be continuity, so it will be easy for you to understand the concept. So let me take once again this question, but in any case I discussed this in my last session, but no worries, we can discuss once again for better clarity, no problem at all. So let me take this question. So this question, I guess you are knowing the answer. For sure you are knowing the answer, because similar question I discussed last time. It's saying integer p is equal to 10, switch p, case 10, case 20, and there is case p. So you see, as per, there is two cases matching. Here you see p is 10, and here you see there is case p also. but this is not going to compile at all. Means, you see, this case is matching and here there is no break, so you'll think that the answer is case 1 and case 2, but actually I discussed you a few minutes before, this case value cannot be any variable, or you see, it cannot be any variable or some, it must be some value that is constant, right? It cannot be expression also. Fine. So you see this here, if you see it here, there is p value is 10. Again here you're using p as a variable. This is not possible. In my opening you see session, I told you switch case is variation against nested if else against a single variable. This can be value, this cannot be variable, so this is not possible. It's going to create an error. Yeah, let me show you. It's going to create an error. So take care about all this question. Yeah, it's error. It's saying case label does not reduce to an integer constant. Yeah, it can be constant value, but you can't write any constant variable, something like that. Fine. Okay, so let me just take another question. I think this is clear to you. Okay. Yeah. And this question I discussed you. This question I discussed in my last session, and I think you know answer, right? This is basically your switch I is 1, so it's going to print case I, and here there's 1 multiplied 2 plus 2, right? So 3 plus 2 5. So it's okay. This is not variable. This is something which is going to give constant value, right? So this is possible. This is possible. So there is no problem at all. So it's going to work. I'm not taking this example in my you see session, but okay, if you need for your clarity, I can just run it also, no problem. Okay, so let me run it so that you should not confuse anymore. Yeah, so the answer is okay. So let me run it. Simply I'm going to run it because I already explained you, right? You see, the answer is case 1. So it's possible. If here there is some expression which is going to give constant value, no problem at all. Fine. Let me take you to the another example. Yeah, this is very interesting one. Yeah, this is very interesting one. You see this question. What do you think? Answer to this question. Integer I equals 4. Fine. X is equal to 6. So when you divide 6 by 4, you see the answer is 1.5. Clear? But the problem is when you are trying to divide it, you are holding in a variable that is z, and the type of this variable is double, right? So, but the division is of integer type. Division is of integer type. So what is going to happen? It will divide, and the integral part of this value is going to host in z. So the value of z will be 1.0000006 times 0, something like that, right? So the trick to this question is just to know that you are knowing division by integer is not going to save, only integral part is going to save in the variable. So this is the trick in this question. So during the you see your placements or any exam, they are just trying to check your basic knowledge about this, you see. Yeah, so this is, and I already discussed you, explanation I have already given you. So let us see what is the output, and the output is, I told you, 1.6 times 6 times 0, 1.6 times 0, right? I guess it's clear to you, right? Okay, so let me take another question. Yeah, this one. So this time I'm taking another example, but before going further, so okay, it's I 012 034 056 and you are trying to print it. Let me not write 0 before, right? Simply 12, 34 and 56, right? And now you're going to run it. The answer is very simple, 12, 34 and 56. No problem at all. You see, the answer is 12, 34 and 56. But the moment you're going to write 0 here, the answer will be different. Now you see the answer. The answer is 10, 28 and 46. Why? Because when you are trying to write any value with 0, it's not taking it as, you see, decimal numbers. The compiler will assume you are trying to write octal numbers. You are trying to write octal numbers. So in this case, you see, in this situation, this 0, 1, 2 is octal number. So it is going to calculate 1 into 8 to the plus 2 into 8 to the power 0 to the power 0 to the power 1. So this will be 2 plus 8, that is 10. Fine. So while giving answer to such question, just take care that this number is written in, you see, decimal only. It's not written in some octal or some other format. Fine. So this is the catch to this question. Just to tell you that you should be very much careful. Now, as I promised in my lecture, my earlier session, that we are going to see the selection statement with the logical operators, the and or, right? So let me start with my first question on selection statement with where the conditions are more than one condition are added with either and or, right? So let me start this session. So this is the important point to understand. So you'll have to understand it very well. Yeah. Now see, its integer a is equal to 12, b is equal to 14, c is equal to 9, and if a is less than b and c is equal to 0, and these two conditions are added with and, right? Now you see, a is less than b, right? Actually a is less than b, fine, and c is equal to 0. So what you're going to means what will be the output to this question? Fine. So let me show you the output first, then I'm going to discuss. Don't forget, the value of a is 12, b is 14 and c is 9. Fine. And now the output is false, 12, 14 and 0. 12, 14 and 0. 12, 14 and 0. Right? Okay. So how it happened? So let me discuss on my scratch board. Okay. See, this is the, okay. Now you see, the value of a is 12. Okay. B is 14. Okay. C is 9. Now a less than b. This is true. But when c is equal to 0, so after evaluating this statement, now it's true. So c is equal to 0. Now I discussed in my last session, when c is equal to 0, it's going to create false. The truth table, when you are going to evaluate a true and false, actually true and false, so ultimately the and is going to result you false. Fine. So it will come not it will come at this statement false. Now you see, it's printing false, and then the value of a is 12, the value of b is 14, but actually the value of c was earlier 9, but actually during this evaluation it's changed to 0. So it's printing 12, 14 and 0, not 9. I guess I am clear and you understood, right? Now you see, it's false. See here, false 12 and false 12, 14 and 0, right? So you'll have to take care when you'll have to take care, right? So similarly, I'm going to take another example in the same line so that there should be more clarity onto it. Fine. So what I'm going to do this time, the same. Okay. Now you see, A is 12, B is 14, C is 9, A is less than B, and C equals to 12, not logically equal to 12, right? Now you see, this expression will be true, and now C is equal to 12, it's a value, right? So it will be true. True and true, it will be true, and the value will be 12, 14, and 12, right? Let me show you. Let me show you, then I'll explain. You see, it's true 12 and 12. So let me explain you on this scratch pad. Okay. Now you see, A is 12, A is 12, B is 14, C is 9. Okay. This condition, A less than B, that is 12 less than 14, quite true, right? Now C equals 12. This is assignment, and if there is some value, it's going to true. So this is also true. Now it will come here, true. Now you see, it's going to print true, then the value of A, you know, 12, the value of B, you know, 14, and then the value of C, it's changed, right? So it's printing true, 12, and 9. Fine. So in the same line, let me take another example, because this type of question you'll get more, right? So let me, in the same line, let me take some more examples so for better clarity. So this time the same type of statement I am going to take, but with some different value, right? Or some different, you see, not value, but some different conditions. Now you see what I did. This time it's A is equal to 12, B is equal to 14, C is equal to 9, A greater than B, not less than, A greater than B, and C is equal to 0. Now you see the first condition is false. So what is going to print? False for sure. The value of A is 12, B is 14. What will be the value of C? Whether it's going to become 9 or 0. So it will be not 0, it will be 9 only. But why, I am going to explain. You see, it's false, 12, 14, and 9. How it's 9, not 0? So let me explain it. So you see, here the value of A is 12, the value of B is 14, the value of C is 9. Okay, fine. So A greater than B, meaning 12 greater than 14, right? This is false. And C is equal to 0. Now if you evaluate, it will be true. But the point is when two conditions are added with and the first condition is false, the second condition the compiler will not check. Why? Because in truth table of and, it will be true only if both are true. One of it's false, then it's you see, it will be false only. So this condition is false, so this condition is not going to be evaluated, right? It will not check this one, right? So it will come to the false. The value of A is, it's going to print 12, this is 14, and C, you see, the value of C is 9. Why? Because the compiler has not checked this condition. Now you see the answer. Answer is 12, 14, and 9. Understood? So just remember it. When two conditions are added with and, if the first condition is false, second condition is not going to be checked. Mind it. So this is just a practice to remember that this type of question you are going to face during your placement or to any exam. Fine. So take care. They are just trying to find whether you are knowing this concept or not. Now next question, very interesting one. Now this is all or fine. Now you see, this is very interesting one. Same question, but I just change the sign. Now not there is, these two conditions are added with or. A is less than B, condition is true. C is equal to 0, right? So what's going to print? What is the value of A, B, and C? So this condition is true. This is also true. So it's going to print true for sure. But what is the value of A, B, and C? The value of A is 12, B is 14. What is the value of C, right? So let me run it, then I'll explain. You see, the value is true, 12, 14, and 9. Now, yeah, true, 14 and 9, right? This is the question, right? Now you see, the value of A is 12, B is 14, C is 9. This condition is true, right? This condition is true. And these two conditions are added with OR. So as per the OR truth table, if first condition is true, it's not going to check the second. Why? Because in any case, the ultimate result is true only, right? So the value of C to 0, it means the value of C is not going to change to 0. So it will be true, the value of A will be 12, this will be 14 and this will be 9. So the outcome means the outcome to this question is, if two conditions are added with add and or, and if the first expression is true, second expression is not going to be evaluated. Fine? Okay. I guess it's clear to you, right? If not, you can ask me in the comment. I'll give you the answer. The second, the same type of question I'm going to take so that there should be clarity in your mind, right? In the second situation, you see the same question, but I change. A is greater than B. Now you see this is false. If this is false, it's going to check the second. And when it's going to change second, C is equal to 0 is true, right? So this is false, but this is true. So it will be true, but the value of A will be 12, B is 14, and now the value of C is 0. So output should be true, 12, 14, and 0. Let us check whether my explanation is right or not. Yeah, it's for. Oh, what you see. This is, you see, C is equal to 0, and we discuss, right? We discuss when the value is 0, it will be false. So it is false, 12, 14 and 9. False, 12, 14 and 0, because the value of C is 0 now. False, 12, 14 and 0. Am I clear? Yeah. Okay, so how it is working? Let me show you. How it is working? Let me show you. This is the question, right? So the value of A is 12, B is 14, C is 9. This condition is false. This is false. Added with OR, so it's going to check the second, and this is C is equal to 0. And when the value is 0, it will false. So it will be false. The value of A will be 12, B will be 14, and now you change the value C to 0. So it will be 0. It will be 12, 14, 0, and for false for sure, right? Oh, I guess it's clear to you, right? Okay, let me take another example in the same fashion, right? Same way to this question. 12, 14, 9, A greater than B. You see, A greater than B. So this is false. When this is false, it's going to check the second. And now when it's going to check it, if there is some value, it will be true. So for sure, it's going to print true, 12, 14, and C is now 12, not 9, right? So it will be true, 12, 14, and 12. True, 12, 14, and 12. See, it's true, 12, 14, and true. I think it's clear to you. No need to give explanation, but yeah. Yeah, you see, it's 12, 14, 9. First case is false. You change value C to 12, and now this condition is true. So it will be true, 12, 14, and now you change the value C to 12. So 12, it's going to print like this. Fine. So this is the last question to this session, which I am going to take, and your all suggestions, comments are welcome. If you are trying to ask me anything, some topic where there is some confusion to you, you can ask me. I'll post one more session onto it, and then we'll complete if else, switch case, and or you see all selection statement. Now to this question, you see the first A less than B, right? So A is less than B. Actually, this is true. 12 B less than 14. So this is true, and C is equal to, this is very interesting one, C is equal to 12, right? So you see the first condition is true, and as I discussed you, when two conditions are added with OR and first condition is true, it's not going to check the second one, right? So the answer will be true, the value of A will be 12, B will be 14, but C will be 9, not 12, right? Because this has not been evaluated, not checked by compiler, right? So check the output. You see, it's true 12, 14 and 9, not 12. 12, 14 and 9, right? So let me explain it here, right? You see, the value of A is 12, B is 14, C is 9. This is true because actually 12 is less than 14. Okay, so this is true. But if it is true and there is two conditions added with OR, the second condition is not going to be evaluated. Fine. So it will be true, and as it is not evaluated, the value of C is not changed. So true 12, 14, and then the value of C will be 9. Right? So this is all about to this session, right? Thank you. Thanks for connecting me. I hope this session is interesting. It makes sense to you. And if you'll find any problem in any of the selection control statement in C, you are most welcome. Even in Java or Python, you are most welcome. You just give me comment. I'll host session. In next session, in next week, I'm coming with placement preparation for the loop in C, right? So thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you.